So again, Suzanne Collins is just a brilliant writer. I've been dying to break these two scenes down since I started my reread of The Hunger Games. The first book in the Hunger Games series, Katniss on page 14 talks about her and Gale going out into the woods together. Other days, deep in the woods, I've listened to him rant about how the Tesserae are just another tool to cause misery in our district, a way to plant hatred between the starving workers of the scene and those who can generally count on supper, and thereby ensure that we will never trust one another. It's to the capital's advantage to have us divided among ourselves, he might say, if there were no ears to hear but mine. So Gale acknowledges that the Tesserae and other things are used to develop a divide within the districts, that it causes a divide between the scene people and the merchant people, and that by keeping them divided, it is thus putting power into the capital's hands. He sees this in book 1, but then by the time he gets to book 3, he struggles to identify that the people of the capital are also part of the us and not part of the them. So after Katniss's prep team has been tortured, they go into the woods. They're hunting, and Gale looks at her and says, Katniss, why do you care so much about your prep team? Katniss, why do you care so much about people? That's essentially what he's asking. And it really bothers me because Katniss cares about people. President Snow is able to figure this out. He uses people against her, so he understands her core motivations. But her best friend, her oldest friend, can't figure out that the girl that he is supposedly in love with has a soft spot for people, that she is empathetic. I open my eyes to see if he's joking, but he's frowning down at the rabbit that he's skinning. Why shouldn't I? Let's see, because they've spent the last year prettying you up for the slaughter, he suggests. It's more complicated than that. I know them. They're not evil or cruel. They're not even smart. Hurting them is like hurting children. They don't see, they don't know. And I get knotted up in my words. So remember, she's had a lot of brain issues after Joanna hit her in the head. She is classified as mentally disoriented. So she's having trouble articulating her argument here. But he says they don't know what, Katniss. That tributes who are the actual children involved here, not your trio of freaks, are forced to fight to the death. That you were going into the arena for people's amusement. Was that a big secret in the Capitol? What really bothers me is that he saw the divide and he falls victim to it anyway. He was standing there and saw how her prep team is treated in the basement, if you will, of District 13, and he still is arguing that those people deserved that sort of treatment, but they don't view it the way we do, I say. They're raised on it, and are you actually defending them? He slips the skin from the rabbit in one quick move. That stings, because in fact I am, and it's ridiculous. It's not ridiculous for you to defend people. He's gaslighting you into feeling the way that he wants you to feel. I struggle to find a logical position. I guess I'm defending anyone who's treated like that for taking a slice of bread. Maybe it reminds me too much of what happened with you over a turkey. And then she says, still, he's right. And it does seem strange. He is partially right that they were prettying you up to go into the arena and they were rooting for you, but they didn't see the dark side of the games. But also, Gale, you're not seeing the dark side of how they are being treated. So it's very much pot calling kettle black. You're being hypocritical. You deserve to be treated better, Katniss, and they should have seen that. But likewise, they deserve to be treated better, Gale, and you should see that. I think this is such a good juxtaposition, and I love how Suzanne Collins pairs together Gale and Katniss in the woods and makes these parallels. They go into the woods, and he says that the Capitol is dividing us. They go into the woods, and he does not see the division.